if you appoint a strong, independent and experienced commission, you're going to get a strong report. We were a commission with mixed skills, but in one respect we were a bit different from most of the commissions of inquiry, in that both Marzuki Darusman and I had spent our lives as practitioners of law. Most of the special procedure mandate holders are professors, not all of them law professors. And I've got nothing against professors. I am 12 times a professor myself in Australia and overseas. I'm very proud to be a professor, but a good leavening of practitioners is a good thing, because they, especially in gathering testimony on very serious crimes, they tend to look at it from the point of view of what can you prove, how can you get the testimony, how can you get testimony that will work and succeed. And so the first step was to produce a strong, independent-minded and hard-working commission. We also had an excellent secretariat. I mean, we get all the honour and the glory, but the secretariat is extremely important because they do the first draft. When I was special representative for the Secretary General in Cambodia, I shocked them all because I used to write the whole of it myself. And I was told, the special representative never does that, never in the UN system, never. And I said, look, I'm a professional writer, that's what I do all my life as a judge, and I'm going to do it. Well, the North Korea exercise was a bit too much and a bit too urgent, so I had to give way, and we allowed the secretariat members to write the first drafts. But every draft was gone through extremely carefully, and every word was weighed to make sure it was comfortable in the English language. And that is why I think it's a very approachable report. Secondly, I learned the importance of transparency. Most of those who are engaged in the special procedures are people like Sonia and like Mr. Darusman, who have grown up in the civil law tradition. Now, the civil law tradition, this comes as an awful shock to common law people, but more countries are under the civil law tradition. That's about 2/3 of the world. The common law is about 1/3 of the world. And the civil law tradition is extremely efficient, but it tends to be less transparent. One of the very great strengths of the English legal system was its insistence on openness of administration, doing the judges sitting in the open, being themselves subject to scrutiny. And we decided from the beginning, because we knew we were not going to get into North Korea, that it was extremely important that we operate in a very transparent manner. And so we agreed that because we knew we wouldn't go into North Korea, we agreed that we would have hearings, public hearings. That had been done once before by a man whom I actually met this morning in the Cosmos Club. If you stand in one place in the Cosmos Club for long enough, you're going to meet every important person in the world. And this was Richard Goldstone, who was in town for a reason I don't know, I didn't like to ask because it might be secret, but he was a judge of the Constitutional Court of South Africa, and before that of the Appellate Division in South Africa, and he held hearings in respect of an inquiry he did into the occupied territories. But because Israel wouldn't allow him into Israel, the net result was it was a sort of slightly distorted procedure, because he couldn't get the public hearings in Israel, and so he had to have public hearings in Geneva in respect of such evidence as he could gather from Israel. We couldn't get into North Korea, so we decided we would have our public hearings